Attention, all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir, tout le monde, et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3 CJZ, opening the weekly amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. This week is 1,588 times that AREG has been on the air consecutively. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton, Ontario. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. And so I also stream the net on YouTube. So people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio and hear how their audio sounds on the air, see their signal strength, as well as see my station layout. Just type my call into the YouTube search box, again, VA3CJZ, and look for us live. Or tonight we'll be under the title AREG Week 1588. And finally, we ask that you please try and leave a 1 second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in. May I now have check-ins for this week's AREG?
Victor Alpha 3 November Echo. Wonder if I'll be first tonight.
Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey.
Victor Echo 3 Zulu Juliet Charlie.
Okay, I copied 3 stations there, but I think there was a double at the beginning. But my neighbor VA3NE was number 1. Congratulations, Kevin. Then we got IMW and ZJC. Let's go to Kevin, VA3 November Echo.
Hey, good evening there, Chuck. Hopefully you're doing well. Just enjoyed the beautiful sunny day we had today. Playing with the new panels and solar power station, charging up all the batteries. Playing with that new little walkie-talkie toy. But I think that's soon to be sitting on the shelf and getting dusty. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be transmitting too much on that, causing the spurious emissions. That's for sure. But anyhow, all in all, fun for $26 and fun figuring out all them different things, eh? Anyhow, hopefully nobody keying up on me on the repeat. Oh yeah, we're on Simplex and you're across the road. Nobody can key up with sarcastic announcements over me while I'm keyed out in the net here tonight. Anyhow, that's all I had to say. Just been messing around with CW and ham radio stuff, not seeing who I could pick on. But anyhow, have a good night there, Chuck, and I'll just be listening along. 7-3 VA3NE.
Okay, very good there, Kevin. Yeah, sounds like you're all ready for an apocalypse. You got all that solar power going. Good for you. And I just hope you don't pray for us to lose power, just so you can have some. But anyways, very good. Yeah, congratulations. And yeah, you're right. They're you get tired of toys after a little while, but it's $26 well spent. And so apparently these do not have spurious emissions on these radios. They did on the earlier models, the K5, I think. But yeah, well, you got a Nano VNA. You should check it out. And when the guys, the videos that I saw there, Kevin, the guys testing them on their Nano VNAs, they were saying that you have to key up for some time so those other spurious emissions go down and the meter reads the true signal. So I don't know how that works. I don't have one, but one of these days. Back to you, Kevin.
Yeah, just for fun. Yeah, it doubles. Of course, them radios, they're not filtered to transmit on the chicken band or 10 meters or all them other. They don't have filters. They're only filtered for the 2 meters, 70 centimeters. So when you go out there, that's why they cause all them spurious emissions. On YouTube, the guy hooked up. Holy smokes. Actually, it wasn't bad on some of the bands, as you would think, but yeah, It's horrible. I wouldn't even key up on that thing other than 2 meter where it's supposed to be, because you could be up on some other band where there's business frequencies or that and wiping them out. Eh? Never know. Especially if you got a big antenna hooked up on
Yep.
it to tie in there.
That's right.
So yeah, they're a fun toy to listen on. I hooked my loop up on it and was decoding on 17 meters, decoding on the, and you need upper sideband, decoding the FT8 on there. So it worked. And then I seen one guy, he hooked a keyer up on it and doing CW, and it decodes and everything. Same
Yeah.
with CW. One French guy there was talking sideband on 2 meters. So I don't know, for $26, it's worth it, I think. But I wouldn't be keying up and causing interference on it, especially us being handy. Anyhow, back to the listening side, VA380.
I was going to check in, but now that I wasn't first, I don't think I want to check in.
Oh my goodness. Were you that other gentleman that doubled with Kevin when I called out?
You mean when I got clobbered by Kevin? Yeah, that was me. That's okay, though. Never mind. I'm not even here. No, just kidding, guys. Throw my call sign in there at the end there. Chuck, please, V3PDO.
All right there, Paul. Well, since you doubled with Kevin, you'll be the next one up in line here. So come on in and tell us how everything's going. By the way, I could hear something underneath Kevin's key up, and so I don't know if he's on the portable or on his base there, but I couldn't tell who it was there, Paul. But I heard something. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, you did.
Copy that. Did that change my signal there, Chuck? I just went to the flat side.
Well, I didn't originally see your signal, but you're about 10 to 15 over now.
Yeah, your signal dropped
Oh.
to me. You got bacon frying in there, so I went back to this antenna instead.
Oh, much better. Yeah, much better. That's like full scale over here. And was that Rick that was in there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Rick, we'll put you in the log as well. And so anyways, Paul, a nice strong signal on that antenna. Which one is it?
It's the broken vertical.
Oh my, yeah, the weather's not nice enough yet. Geez, it's still reading 9 degrees out on my front porch, but you know, when you get that cool breeze and you still have snow on the ground, it's a cool breeze.
Quick comment.
Comment there? Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, there's VA380. Hey, Chuck, I'm on 50 watts too with a 5-element beam pointed right at you. So if you heard anyone under me, that's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for that clarification. I wasn't sure if you were on the handy talkie, but yeah, well, I got earbuds in too, so I can hear pretty much everything that the radio puts out. So I heard something, but not enough to know that it was a voice, but I could tell. So yeah, that's pretty good. Back to you there, Paul, PDL.
Yeah, very good. Not bad for a broken antenna, I guess. All right, Chuck, I'll let you pick up the rest of the fine gentlemen behind me there, and I'm sure there's a bunch more waiting to check in when you're done with all those. So I'll be in and out throughout the evening here. So V3PDL, back to net control.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I go on there, are there any other check-ins for tonight's AREG net? Please come now. I have the other ones in line on the in the log here. Just want to see if there's anyone else.
V3 Bravo kilowatt.
Okay, Rick, that seems to be it for now. So I got you on the list. Let's go to Mac, VA3 IMW.
Well, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else listening. Just a brief pause for a community service announcement. I got an email from Radio Amateurs of Canada, RAC.ca. this afternoon, warning people of an onslaught of suspicious emails known as phishing. And anybody who frequently uses their email probably has seen a few of these phishing emails. It's somebody usually kind of trying to behave like somebody that you would expect to have an email from, but they're looking for you to download a file. Usually it's a virus, or click on a link that's going to take you somewhere, and the goal is to secure personal information so that they can continue to hack into your world. Anyway, so obviously with the notice coming up from RAC, there's been suspicious emails going out, and since the amateur radio community seems to be largely comprised of seniors and older folks, which are usually great targets for phishing expenditures, they wanted to make sure everybody was aware of it. So if you're getting some emails coming in asking you to click on a link or download a file or respond to something that you're not really comfortable with, there's a number of ways that you can educate yourself as to whether this is a true request from the person that you're dealing with. Simply hovering your mouse over top of the sender's email address can usually highlight the fact that it's somebody else pretending to be somebody that you would expect a message from. Anyways, just a brief awareness for our amateur community. Beware, because there's all kinds of nasty people out there, and they just want to cause havoc. And sometimes it's not about getting monetary gain. Sometimes they just want to mess with you and cause hardship. That's what hackers do. Anyways, Chuck, that's about it for now. I'll let you go ahead and pick up the rest of the world there, and I'll be listening along for the duration. VA3IMW for ID.
Okay, very good there, Mac. Geez, that's surprising, you getting an alert from RAC concerning that. I know my email pretty much filters out all the junk, but where I have an issue is on my phone. I think I'm going to have to, since it's a new year, I think I'm going to have to go to that website that's the no-call list, and you put your phone number and into that list, and apparently it's a government site, and so apparently a notice goes out to everyone not to call you. But where I have an issue is my messages, the IMs, instant messages. I'm constantly getting fake companies like Bell. Bell sent me a thing. Oh, we overcharged you last month. Collect your $1,200 here. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife a couple of weeks ago got a text message from a banking institution that we actually do business with, but I'm the primary on that account, and they have my cell phone number and our home telephone number. Imagine that. I still have a landline. Actually, it's VoIP, but it is still kind of a landline. But they have never been given my wife's cell phone number. So she sent me a text message. She says, "What's wrong with her credit card account?" Blah blah blah. I said, "Slow down, take a deep breath, and think clearly. Is there any reason why such and such a bank should ever need to send you a text message? And how did they get your number? Because we've never registered it with them." So I said, "I've looked online, and our banking stuff is just fine. So you can actually report text messages as spam to your cell phone carrier, just so that they can monitor the activity on that incoming number." So yes, it's that's also a way for these scammers to get into your life. Very good point, Chuck. Back to you.
Okay, well, very good. Thanks, Mac, for that public service announcement. And so we're going to get back to you. And but for now, we'll just move down the list there. Anything else to add?
Bit it, you know.
That's all, folks. Okay, so we'll clear with Mac and go to who is this next guy? I recognize a call, I think. VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. Come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on frequency. Jason in the lower city of Hamilton, and it's been a while. I've had some stuff. Work's been crazy, life's been crazy, and haven't had any time to play radio. But I am now on vacation for the next 11 days, and had some time to play radio, and packing up some radio gear to take on the winter trip to Tampa for some spring training baseball, and in between baseball games, the plan is to hit some parks up and go do some POTA activations. And I have every intention of being in a park on the 29th for that special event.
Oh, well, welcome back there, Jason. Yeah, life keeps you busy and so on. So great to hear you have time now. And Tampa is very nice. I actually used to live in Sarasota during the winter months. I'd lived between there and West Palm Beach on the other side of the state. But Sarasota is very close to Tampa, I do believe. And so, yeah, it's calmer there. You don't have the rowdy Fort Lauderdale fraternity college kids swarming everywhere. So it's a little bit calmer on the Gulf Coast. So very good. I hope you get good weather.
Thank you, sir. Everything that we've seen in the forecast looks to be just beautiful. 23 to 25 degrees and sunny every day. So just warm enough to go hit the beach a few days and, just not be here, not deal with work, and just reset and, I don't know, the whole mental health thing. It's kind of important. So, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and hopefully, maybe if the sun god allows, when I'm activating parks, the local POTA hunters, maybe you guys can find me. I will be QRP, but you never know what the bands are going to do. I will sit on the side. I'm going to be in and around the radio, so if you come back to me and I'm not here, probably just hands full of winding coils and things like that. Back to you, sir.
Okay, Jason, very good then. Well, you know what, QRP or not, you're by the ocean there, and so you're going to get some good bounce. Florida is, wherever you are in Florida, you're never too far away from the ocean, that's for sure, or a beach. Anyways, we're going to carry on there. Jason, thank you very much for checking in. Enjoy the rest of the net. We'll get back to you next round. And so we'll clear with you, and let's say hello to VA3AXJ, Downtown Rick.
Good evening there, Chuck. Good day today. Excellent day, actually. About my results back from the tests there, from the can't remember the name of it now. Anyhow, everything's good. There's no nerve damages. Good blood flow. All I got to work on is the muscle. The muscle's a little weak from winter, not doing nothing, laying around, being lazy. But we all come back good, positive.
All right, that's good to hear, Rick. And so I'm the same. Been lazy this winter, and I need to start doing some of that chair yoga that I've been seeing and hearing about. So something to keep me, moving or active when I'm locked indoors. So, yeah, well, very good. Glad to hear. I have, let's see now, 1st of March, a week and a half or so, I go in for my back procedure, my once every 6 months RF procedure, and looking forward to that. So, anyways, Rick, thanks for checking in, sir. We'll get back to you in a bit. And do you have anything else to add?
No, not really. I don't go back until the 29th for my needles. But I will be here for a while. I'm feeling good. So, feeling really good. Actually, yeah. It's good to get good news, you know? It just perks you right up. But anyhow, I'll be listening for a while. Back to you.
All right, Rick. Thank you very much. By the way, we do a time change coming up again soon, March 10th. It's already the 21st of February. And so 8 days left in this month. And then on the 10th, we change the clocks back ahead. So looking forward to that. All right, Rick, thank you very much. And let's go to the other Rick in the north end, Victor Echo 3, Bravo Kilowatt. Rick, come on in.
Yeah, how you doing there, Chuck? Good evening to everybody on frequency. And I got a phone call tonight from Art. And Art says that the worker that come in was playing with his radio, turning knobs, and so he can't see it good enough to get it back on his frequency. So I put in a request here if anybody can be an Elmer to him or whatever, just go over there. He's got that new 7100, and I think I asked Mac there once before, but anybody that's available just to stop in on there and have a look and see if you can set up his radio for him. Again, he did have the Yaesu 991 Alpha. He had that set up so that it was right on this frequency, and this is the only frequency that he was transmitting on. So I guess he played with the knobs with that radio, so he can't see good enough to, and doesn't know how to work that radio good enough to put it back on. But he's got his new 7100, and he's waiting for somebody to go over there and set it up and try and get that antenna up too. But so far, there hasn't been any takers from our club or anybody else that wanted to. So if we can put out the want there that V3KCI, and he's listed on QRZ, his address and everything. If anybody wants to go over and just help him set up, he's sight impaired, and he needs somebody to help him set up that 7100. Maybe on this frequency and maybe some other ones too, if anybody wanted to do it. Other than that, I haven't got much here. Chuck, thanks for letting me in there. And anyway, I thought I'd put that out there because he called me tonight. It was kind of late to try and get anybody to go over there today so he could be on your net. So he can't hear your net and he can't transmit on it because the social worker that comes in played the one that came in to clean up or whatever was playing with his radio and turning the knobs and everything else, and he freaked out on her. Anyway, okay, so back to you, Chuck. VA3CJZ V3BK.
Oh dear, that's terrible. It reminds me of pictures I've seen of adult kids, putting tape over grandma's remote control buttons so she doesn't accidentally press the wrong button. So, that's a shame. Yeah, if I had access to a vehicle there, Rick, I'd help him out, but unfortunately, I cannot. But thank you for the announcement. Anyone that's wishing to be an Elmer to Art there and give him a hand, get back online, get a hold of him. I don't know if maybe through you we could get his phone number and that would make it easier than to just have a guy come knocking on the door there, Rick.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. Anybody can call me or send me an email. I'm on Curazet, and yeah, or V3BK at myrack.ca. That's the easiest one. MyRack. It's not rack.ca anymore. I heard you talking about that, and I'm the same as you, Chuck. I've been getting a lot of phone calls. Yeah, Bell Canada phoning me, telling me they're going to cut my service off and stuff like that because I didn't,
What?
something to do with security, but it comes up 1 6 something or other. The number is weird, so it definitely is not them. I sent you an email about Rich there in Australia, VK6BQQ. He is back home and in good spirits, and he doesn't know why he was unconscious. But he woke up on the way to the hospital apparently, and said, "What am I doing here?" He didn't remember passing out. So he was going to the doctors yesterday, and I haven't talked to him yet. He was going to the doctors to find out what it was. It's probably either a low blood sugar or low heart rate or something like that, something to do with his heart. So we don't know. But anyway, he's okay, and he's at home. And on Friday night, when he has his net there at 8 o'clock there on Echolink, and you can pick that up on the Hamilton Club repeater on 147 460, or 146 760, 146 760. You can pick up Reg on Friday night at 8 o'clock. He won't be there doing the whole thing. He'll be there to say hello to people, but he won't be doing the complete net. He's got some helpers doing it. So anyway, I thought I'd fill you in on that too, Chuck. So back to you, B3BK.
Well, thank you very much for the update there, Rick. And I don't think I was aware that Reg was a diabetic. And either way, you don't have to be diabetic. If you have low blood sugar, let me tell you, it's way worse than having high blood sugar. You can go into a coma and all sorts of bad things happening. My body has told me a few times that I was dangerously low, and I don't recommend ever. If you ever feel you need some sugar, go right ahead. Your body's telling you that. So, but thank you for the update there, Rick. And Friday night, 8 o'clock, I believe, on the NCF repeater, you can pick up Reg's neck. It may not be him, but he may jump in there and say hello because he is recuperating.
Yeah, Roger on that. Okay, well, if you can see if anybody wants to go over and help Art just set his radio up on this frequency anyway. And maybe, because I can't do it right now, I'm not driving, and, unless I get somebody else to take me up there, which defeats the purpose sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, if somebody wants to go help him out there and, then he ran into Mac in the grocery store, and he's still talking about that, Mac, if you're listening. he was really happy to meet you in the grocery store. But anyway, so there, back to you, Chuck.
Okay, Rick. Well, the word is definitely out. Everybody hears you here on the radio as well as on the YouTube stream. By the way, if you're just tuning in, we do stream the net on YouTube. Just put in my call, VA3CJZ, into the YouTube search box, and you can find us there live tonight. Or if you're searching a title, it's AREG Week 1588. And speaking of YouTube, I'd like to acknowledge Wade, VA3NCA, for checking in there, as well as Wayne B. from Mississauga, VA3 Fox Mike Bravo. And we have Michael from Arkansas checking in, KI5SPA. Good evening, Mike. And yes, I agree with the time change coming up for us here, March 10th. I can't wait for them to just leave it alone and just stop changing the time. So that's my question of the night. Do you like changing times, or would you rather they leave it alone? Anyways, Rick, thanks a bunch. Anything else, sir?
Okay, very good, Chuck. We're looking forward to hearing the rest, and I'll be listening V3BK.
Okay, very good. So we'll clear with VE3BK. And let's do another call out. Who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net? This is VA3CJZ.
BE3 GMP.
3MQ.
VA3MCA in case I got covered.
Chris in Burlington.
Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango.
Okay, I got GNP, MQ, and after or during MQ there, you clobbered someone. Chris, I think is what I heard in Burlington. I'm sorry, Chris. What's your call again?
Yeah, QSL, Chuck. My call is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Just one letter off from yours, sir.
That's right. Very good. Okay, Chris, you're in the log. You're on the list. So let's go up to VE3 Golf November Papa Garnett. Come on in.
Yeah, how you doing, Chuck? You're out on net. Everything's quiet. Everything's good. If you want to go up to see, it's radio that 3100. I can drive you up there, Chuck. If you want to go up there, I'll drive you up there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not familiar with the, excuse me, the ICOM radios, but maybe we could do that if nobody else volunteers. Yeah, I can probably find some time to do that. That's a great offer. Thanks, Garnett.
Yeah, not a problem, Chuck. I'm just sitting here in the living room. Actually, I'm in my living room right now. I'm going to the living room in my handheld in a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah. What, you're on your handheld now?
Now I'm on my base now, but I'm going to go on my handheld.
Okay. I was going to say, damn, that thing's working good. You're full strength over here. So, all right, Garnett. Well, thanks for checking in, sir. And yeah, I'll definitely try to work something out if no one else is volunteering before then. So very good. Thanks for the offer. All right. So let's go to VE3MQ. Tom.
Hey, good evening, everybody. And just to let you know, Albert, thank you. I bought that tuner, so I thought I would just, so I heard you in there, I would say thanks. VE3MQ.
All right, there you go. Which tuner did you get, Tom?
Yeah, Albert found one on Kijiji. It was a MFG 962 Delta. It's a decent, it's 1.5 kilowatt tuner. First the guy wanted 350, then I watched him slowly drop the price down, and I ended up buying it for $250.
Oh, there you go. That's at least $50 cheaper than what they want at the store. Mind you, the last time I priced them was about 5-6 years ago, so they probably skyrocketed now.
$675 for this tuner.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. So I'm sure it'll be able to tune anything.
Oh yeah, no problem. I was just on 160 a few minutes ago and it was working fine.
Oh, very good. By the way, there's a 160 contest this weekend.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. Yeah, no, Dave come over and Scott, they put up my antenna over into my neighbor's tree next door, so it goes from a tower at one side of my house to the other, and the lots are 40 by 80, or 100 by 40 by 100, so they're 40 feet wide, so I've got 2 yards now with the wire.
Oh, well, that's always nice to have neighbors that don't mind you doing that sort of thing.
No, they know I enjoy the hobby, so He don't care.
Excellent, excellent. By the way, I think your lot's wider than mine. I think mine's only 25 or 30 max.
Well, even my Yankee goes over his yard. He don't care.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, it's always good to get along with your neighbors if you can. Some you just can't win. So good for you. All right, Tom. Great signal. The audio is just screaming. You got anything else?
Nope, nothing else.
All right, thanks, Tom. So we'll clear with VE3MQ, and we'll pick up Chris before we take Albert. VA3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Come on in, Chris.
Don't forget Wade's in there too.
Right.
Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu, Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Good evening, Chuck. To you and to everybody else on the net. I have something that I can finally share that I don't think anybody else has brought up. You guys were mentioning muscle loss, and especially when you're not able to be active because of injury or something. I happen to follow Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. He sends out a daily email, which is really good. It's not a lot of junk. It's not a lot of spam. He's not trying to sell anything. It's a lot of positive information. Today he shared that there is a new study that's just come out, new research study, showing that omega-3 fatty acids, so like fish oil, may be beneficial for preventing muscle loss, even amongst those who are unable to be active. So even when you're suffering from injury, supplementing with omega-3 fatty acids may help prevent muscle loss. I figured that might be something of interest to you guys. I hear you're talking about wintertime and not being able to be as active and suffering from injury and not being able to be as active. So I figured I'd share that with you tonight.
Oh, well, very good, Chris. I do know I don't eat as much fish as I should, but I do eat fish. A lot of tuna, and I have eggs at least every second day. So the omega-3s are probably helping. So that's a great tip. And it's funny, you mentioned Arnold Schwarzenegger sending out um, tips on exercising and diet and stuff like that. Back in my day, it was people like Ben Wider. I do believe he had barbells I bought with his name on them back in the day there, where they had the back of the comic books. They had the guy having sand thrown in his face, and he was a skinny runt, and then he picked up barbells and got big. And I think Ben Wider was one of the old guys. Now it's guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very good. Thanks a bunch, Chris. Anything else for us? Okay, I don't know. Am I making it there, Chris? Are you there? Okay, well, I'm hearing somebody breaking the squelch, but I have like an S3, S4 noise level, and I'm not able to make that out. Could be that Chris dropped in power or something. Mac, are you picking up anything?
Something breaking squelch intermittently, but just a little crackle. Opening a squelch doesn't really help.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll get back to Chris in a bit then, and let's jump over to Albert and Wade. I have you after. VA3 Bravo Tango. Albert, come on in.
Hey, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on frequency there. Yeah, not a problem there, Tom. I saw that, heard that you were looking for a tuner, so I thought I would pass that along to you. Glad you picked it up. But otherwise, yeah, Chuck, nothing to report on my end, just a general check in there. I thought, I better start checking into Chuck's on that here. And then, yeah, so here I am. VA3BT, back over to net control.
Okay, Albert, right on. Glad to have you check in, of course, and I got your message there. So does the cable work?
I haven't even had a chance to try it out yet. The problem is, so Chirp, I can't load it up into this laptop I got because it's only got Windows 7. It doesn't even have 10. So you need Windows 10, right?
Oh, probably. Yeah, never thought of that. Well, you got to stop throwing your laptops out the window there, Albert.
I do have a company laptop, but yeah, that's not going to work. They don't. They got big high security stuff on those laptops. So yeah, that means I'm gonna have to get myself a new laptop because this one here just Windows 7. That's it. I don't even think I can put Windows 10 in it. But hey, it works for what I need it for. But yeah, we'll see.
Comment.
Okay, go ahead. Comment.
VA3MW. Actually, you can still find older versions of Chirp that you can load up on your good old-fashioned laptops. As a matter of fact, I've got an old HP kicking around here, and I found a version of Chirp that I could load on, wait for it, Windows XP. So, yeah, take a look on the web. You'll be able to find copies of downloadable, installable Chirp for older versions.
Yeah, I think the Chirp, well, Chuck knows what it is. It's that other one there. So load up these other radios. Yeah, but you know what? I have to check that other Chirp too there, Chuck. I don't know. Is it just that one particular one that you showed me there?
Yeah, I actually I have the legacy one, the old one, but I didn't check if it would even show the brand Quansheng on that one. I just saw the video and went to the Chirp dash next and installed that, and of course all the different radios pop up. It seems like a bigger list than the older version, so that's what I'm worried about. If you download the legacy, try it. It may not show your radio on there.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that when I get a little time there, see how that goes.
Yeah, well, you know, if you need anything done that requires the computer for your radio there, you know where to go. Just give me a call, and we can fix it up for you. But yeah, check it out. I'll do the same on my end there when I have some time and see if the legacy one works. So, all right. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it only cost me a coffee anyways. Anyways, I'll let you roll with the net there. I'll be listening along there, Chuck, VA3BT.
All right, very good. Sounds like somebody's got a little chirp in there, key up there. Get it? Boy. Okay, so I think Wade now is next. So we'll clear with Albert and say hello to VA3NCA. Sorry to keep you waiting there, Wade.
Hi, VA3 CJZ, VA3NCA. No worries, no worries. Yeah, no, I called out twice there, but there were loud stations that I'm sure stepped all over my little signal here. So I think I was the one who doubled with Al there, and glad that Mac was listening and could pick me up and relay my call out. Anyways, yeah, the topic of conversation on the AROC, or the Amateur Radio Operators of Canada Discord today, was that spam campaign. It looks like what happened was somebody out there, some miscreant, decided to guess at a bunch of Canadian amateur hams, which is not a hard thing to do. RAC has a service called myrac.ca, as Rick said earlier, they will offer to forward email to you at your regular address if you register with them. and the address you get as a forwarder is your call sign at myrack.ca. So somebody did a scrape of Canadian amateurs and then pushed through some spam at bulk spam at MyRack. So Rack's email servers weren't compromised. There's no indication they were compromised. Just some miscreant who decided to take advantage of the service and push it through. So the message, I got one. I got a copy, and it suggested that Phil McBride, the president of Rack, had a message just for me. And all I had to do was click on the confidential message and download it. And so that's kind of something that's not going to happen. So Mac had some great advice for staying safe, and it applies here as well. So Phil McBride, the president there, who was the subject of the spam message, he is also on that Discord, so he's aware of it, and I suspect that's probably where the message that came out, follow-up warning people about it, came from. So anyhow, yeah, a little bit of excitement this morning on that front, if you want to call it excitement, but everybody be careful out there. Other than that, my latest thing I've been playing around with was giving a crack at learning CW again. I've been at it about a week, and I kind of think I can get all the letters now, but I can't do it fast enough that if I put it together in a word, I'd be able to copy the word. So a lot more effort has got to go into it. But anyways, it's a start. So I'm using Morris Mania on my phone, and it's a lot of fun. And I am going to time this down 6, 5, 4, and I'll send it back to you, Chuck. Thanks. VA3NCA.
All right. Well, there you go. Timing out the Simplex repeater. Very good there, Wade. Yeah, well, thanks for all that information. Just to mention, I mean, be careful. There's a lot of hacking going on. Everybody's getting hacked. I mean, hospitals, the Life blood donor clinic there, whatever it's called, all kinds of institutions. And so, it's no surprise. I remember years ago when the internet was just blowing up, and I could see this coming. As soon as I heard about one of the first few denial of service attacks, I said to myself, you know what, this is only the beginning. And of course, I'm right. And so it's almost inevitable. It's like Skynet there in Terminator. Once you let it loose, it's pretty much unstoppable, it seems. Companies are spending big amounts of money for security, and the best way is to have a closed network. Bottom line.
Yeah, it's this. What do they say? This is why we can't have nice things. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and it's a lot of effort to try and keep things secure. And unfortunately, at the speed that people want to move these days, particularly in business where there's a buck to be made, any corners they can cut, they tend to. And if you want to risk it, that bet will often pay off, but not always. And when it doesn't, it's big trouble. So, anyways, yeah, it's unfortunate, but those people are out there, and that's why we have to be careful on the other side. And I think that some of the suggestions that have been made are good ones. Take a look and consider, is this an appropriate thing that somebody would send to you to request? And if anything's strange about it, then follow up and check it out. Anything that urges you to act quickly and time limited, they're trying to set up a sense of urgency and a call to action to get you to do something, just take a pause and think about it. So anyways, all of that nasty stuff aside, yeah, if anybody wants to try out the Morris Mania, it's an app on Android. I recommend it. It seems pretty good. So I've been enjoying spending a few minutes a night just trying to pick it up. I got a few letters that I can recognize right off the bat, but if I think about them, I can identify them all now. So I think that's Morse Mania, and a little bit of more effort on it, and hopefully I can pick this up. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Anyways, that's it for now. I think you've got a good list here tonight. Sounds like a lot, anyways, and so I'll send it back to you. Maybe pick up a few more and get on to the main event with the Span History event. So thanks for doing it, Chuck, and I'll send it back to you via 3NC.
Okay, Wade, thanks for all that. Okay, very good then. And so, Wade, you're at the bottom of my list, and let's see who else is out there. Would like to stop in and say hi on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Chuck, anyone, anywhere, please come now.
Check.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
Okay, I think I heard 3 stations there. I think I heard DJ Z, but he was doubling with someone else. Is there someone else I missed there? Go ahead.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Julia, recheck.
There he is. Recheck. Okay, let's take you first, Chris. VA3CJW.
Yeah, thanks very much, Chuck. I just wanted to... Overman, who is responsible... learn and copy and transmit at a faster speed. I'm going to break for a second here and make everything. And then also the website Morse Code World is an excellent website for learning CW. You can set the Farnsworth, and so it's really good for learning CW.
All right, Morse Code World. All right, seems like CW is catching on there. There's quite a few of us locals there interested in picking it up, and so thank you for all that information, Chris. Anything else?
DA3CJZ, DA3CJW. Nothing else for me, Chuck. I just, as I say, I follow YouTube streams, and I heard Wade talking about it, so I figured I'd jump in with some information. I'll be standing by listening to the rest of the night. DA3CJW.
Okay, very good then. Okay, so let's go to Huey, I think, VE3DJZ.
Hello, Huey. How you doing, Chuck? Just checking in. Play with this radio, it's driving me nuts. But, checking in with you for later.
Yeah, sounding good there, Huey. Good audio as well. Nice and clear. And yeah, I'm reading 8.9 degrees outside on my front porch. I don't know how windy it is right now. Usually it's calm around this time of night. But yeah, super. I think they're saying Sunday or Saturday we're supposed to dip down below 0, but that's just for the one day. And then after that, we're looking plus degrees. And like I mentioned, we're coming up there in about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. We're going to do the time change again.
Right on, I can't wait. How's the audio sound on this? Is that so loud?
Oh, yeah, I like it. What are you on?
I'm on a Quenching. I just played with some new firmware I just downloaded.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I haven't recently checked out the new stuff. I'm pretty up to date on the new mods, but it's been a couple of days there. So right on. Good for you. Oh, yeah, the audio sounds good. If you get a chance there, right now it's 8:54 p.m. You should go to the YouTube stream and just punch in my call, VA3CJZ, and you'll see us live there. and go to 8:53 p.m. and you'll be able to hear yourself.
All right, Chuck. Take care. Have a good one. Thanks for doing that. Good night.
All right, Huey, not a problem. Yeah, good signal. I think I had you at about at least 10 over, and really good audio there. Okay, so let's go to Burlington and say hello to Thomas. VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. Tom, come on in.
VE3 CJZ, VE3CU. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net here. Getting you full strength there tonight there. Yeah, not too much is going on at this end here. I haven't turned the radio on. Oh yeah, it's I'm just relaxing and taking it easy.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, well, I got you when you're in the clear, S9, solid S9 there with great audio. And um, yeah, so like I mentioned, things are looking up. Days are getting longer. We're getting more sunshine. The period of darkness and of the winter we have. God, I'd hate to live in places close to the Arctic Circle and that, where you get very, very lengthy time periods without sun. So, yeah. Or in the summer, I think it's sun all summer in some places. Yeah, well, if there's some people there maybe trying to be recognized, but unfortunately, without a proper call sign, we cannot acknowledge you. I would advise you to carefully think it over because there are penalties, very expensive penalties, being caught interfering with nets and things like that. If you want, you can go online and practice, and it's a free practice exam. You can get your license that way. You can talk to each one of us instead of playing around. But anyways, Tom, I'll say thank you for now. I do appreciate you checking in, and I know you got to go. So have a good night, sir. Anything else? Nice. All right. Please check your microphones. Someone was locked in there. Nice strong signal near me and no audio. Is there anyone else out there wishing to check in to the weekly amateur radio exchange group? This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now.
VE3 LBI.
Okay, I recognized VE3 LBI. Larry, you made me look at the clock again. Very good. Come on in.
Couple minutes early. Yeah, Tom was saying, excuse me, he wondered if they were going to keep the time changes the way they are, or hopefully they're going to set it to one time. I'm not sure, you had a little bit of interference there, unfortunately, but that was Tom's kind of question or whatever, hoping that they're going to make the time change only once instead of twice, so we have a steady clock all the way through.
Okay. Well, thanks for the relay, Larry. And Thomas, if you're listening, I got it now. And I agree with you. I hope they keep it, they don't change it anymore. But when I heard them talking about it last year, they were thinking about doing it. But then I also heard that it will take about a year almost to implement it because all the airlines will have to readjust their departures and all that funny stuff there. And so I heard it would take quite a while to implement it, up to close to a year.
Okay, I'm not sure if you're referring back to Thomas or not. Anyways, Chuck, you know what? I'll be honest with you, I don't believe that. We had the scare of the year 2000 changeover. Elevators were going to stop.
Yeah.
The world's going to cease. Cell phones are going to quit. Computers won't work anymore. Nothing happened. It's a matter of just making the time change. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, okay. I'm not sure about some of our older equipment, and as I say that in a sense, I have an older thermostat here that changes time. You know what? It's quite simple. I just change it back. It's not a big deal. So I think that maybe a little bit of a hype, kind of like some of the stuff they're doing in Hamilton. These renovictions and stuff. I don't understand why it takes so long to do it. Pass it and get it done and carry on. Don't wait until another 6 months to say, well, we're going to do this. But again, that's a bit of politics. I don't want to get into that. So anyways, don't forget, garbage tonight. You don't have to do it till tomorrow, Chuck.
Yay. I know. My wife reminded me today before she left for work. So yeah, that's great. But you know what, Larry, I've been taking mine out before the net last few weeks there. And so trying to get into that habit where, by law, they say 7 o'clock is when you can put it out the earliest. And so that's plenty of time before the net. But when it was deep into the winter months, I would wait till after the net. But nonetheless, it's nice not having to do it today. So that way it gives us an extra day to collect all the garbage without being in a hurry. And so, you might be right regarding the hype. I don't see what the big deal is. Just because you have a flight next year doesn't matter. I mean, if everyone's changing their clocks to a certain time, then that's going to be the time. I don't get it either. But like you said, that's politics, red tape, and so on and so on. So anyways, anything new and exciting with you there, Larry?
Nope, not really. I'm trying to think of anything going on. Grandson was here for a bit this afternoon. We pick him up at 4 o'clock, and Dad picks him up about 6:30. So he was here for supper, and always enjoyment. Gets downstairs and spends more time downstairs with me than Grandma upstairs now. We got so much we can play with downstairs. All the radio equipment, and what's this for? What's that for? So, anyways, and his birthday was last Sunday. So he's 4 years old now, and just full of it. Likes to tinker with stuff.
Oh, very good. Curious minds. Yeah, there's only so much you can do with Grandma, unless she's baking all the time. Then I used to hang out with Grandma most of the time, but my grandpa taught me how to fish and shoot guns, believe it or not. But that's my grandpa. Anyways. Okay, Larry, well, thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it, my friend. Do you have anything else there before we carry on?
Nope, that's it for now. I'll got to step away for about 5 minutes or so, but I'll be back and listening for the rest of it. So, okay, thanks, Chuck. Everybody else on net there, I'll take a standby for about 5 minutes. VE3, I'll be back.
Okay, very good, Larry. Thank you. And let's see now. Oh, Wade says it's garbage night for him. So there you go. Well, you had a day off garbage last night then, Wade. Very good. That was on YouTube, by the way. Anyone listening, you can check us out on YouTube. Just put in VA3 CJZ into the YouTube search box, and you can find us there. So with that, let's see if there's anybody else out there who would like to check in with us here on the AREG net. Please come now.
Recheck VE3ZJC.
VA3XLJ.
Okay, XLJ, I know you're mobile. Just hang in there real quick. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, just a comment. I don't know if Larry's within earshot of his radio, but I kind of got to say I took a little bit of offense there when he came back and said that Y2K was a big nothing burger, and that there's nothing really for changing the clocks and getting rid of daylight savings time altogether. Y2K was a nothing burger because IT people like me busted our humps around the clock for 6-8 months ahead of time to make sure that it was a big nothing burger and that nobody's systems were affected. And I know from firsthand experience that making systematic changes on a global scale requires significant coordination and work, and there are significant programming changes to a vast variety of systems. So I understand not everybody works in the IT field and would understand the intricacies in the background, but I know Wade's out there and he's an IT guy just like me and doing infracode, and he probably worked straight through Y2K just like I did. Just want to make sure that everybody understands that these systems work the way they do, and they seem seamless to the end user because of people like us who literally work around the clock to see that happen. And I will get off my little soapbox here and send it back to you, Chuck.
Comment?
Okay, just hold that for a second there, Larry. I know you have some input, but Vanya is mobile, and I'd like to bring him in before he gets out of range there. So let's go and say hello to Vanya, VA3XLJ.
Chuck, you know what? I took my time to in the drive, so Larry takes come back to me later, please, Chuck.
Okay, very good then, Vanya. Go ahead, Larry.
Yep, not a problem. Jason, 45 years in the IT business.
All right, there you go. I knew I'd get something back from Larry. But anyways, hey, listen, on the fun side of things, I remember New Year's Eve, 1999. As soon as it turned midnight, I was waiting to see if the lights would go out, and they never did. So way to go, guys, all you IT guys. Good job. Okay, then. Any other comments, questions, or check-ins? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3IMW, comment.
IMW, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, just one particular point here. You said that the sticking point was that the aviation industry was going to have to make significant changes, blah, 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 blah. The aviation industry works in Zulu time. Everything else that the consumer hears is all conversions. So, yeah, as far as intercontinental schedules and all the rest of that stuff, it's all linked to Zulu. So, yeah, get off the pot, right?
Ah, very good point there, Mac. I never thought of that. And, well, actually, I didn't know that. So, very good. I don't know. I'm just saying what I heard. And, you can't always believe everything you read or you hear. So, thanks for that clarification there, Mac.
Uh-huh. On this day. Oh, never mind.
Yep, we're getting there. One more call out. Is there anyone else out there that would like to check in with us here on the weekly amateur radio exchange group? This is VA3CJZ. Please come now.
VA3.
Okay, I think that's XLJ there. Your signal is bouncing up and down. Come on in.
Hello, Chuck. Get the talking about here about the time change and since the Linux that as soon as possible. I don't know what you would do. Lots of smart people out there, they could come up with something which is universal for all of us.
checks or whatever is my rental and a few other checks like from before. And there's this institution which would basically like that, and they would cash them all at the same time, and it was always like a kind of delay. Like if I would send a check in September, it was like sometime in October or maybe even December every once in a while. So I've been sending the checks, paying whatever was paid to them, and on the New Year's Eve on the 2000, I go to grab like $1, so I have some money to pay for the stuff to eat. And I go to the bank and there's no money. And I'm thinking, how can be no money? So the back then you could print a little thing in my finger so it tells you your transactions. And all the checks which I sent to that company, like 3 or 4 of them, they were all cashed on the December 31st for just in the case of things that go south. So yeah, but they will protect themselves. People not so genuine, but good guys. And I guess nothing went through.
All right, that's a very good point there, Vanya. I do remember also having issues with people cashing checks before there would be enough funds in the bank for whatever reason. Yeah, that's always been a pain. Hey, by the way, whereabouts are you? You're moving, right?
Yeah, this is the beginning of my commute to work, so I'm going down kilometers road to get to the road, and I'm gonna stay on the service road and exit last exit before the by the hatchet. I'm gonna go over it, I'm gonna jump on the lake shore again, so that's night shift route.
Okay, very good then. All right, well, you have a good night there, night shift there, Vanya, and I do appreciate your check-in, sir. Do you have anything else?
I'm gonna guys give you 7-3 and this is the duration of my radio frequency, so this is on the country road and till next Wednesday, chat. 383
Okay, thanks for checking in, Vanya. Take care, my friend. Be safe. All right, so where are we now? How about we check on this week's upcoming contests? I do know that, first of all, there's a 160 meter CQ contest for sideband. It's called the CQ 160 meter, and that's it, sideband. And that's going to be on for 2 full days and then some. It's actually going to starts at 2200 Zulu time, February 23rd, to 2200 Zulu time, February 25th. And then we have the REF contest. That's from France and overseas territories. It's mostly, you're going to hear a lot of French stations this weekend. That's for sideband. And for 10 meters, 15, 20, 80, 40, and then 80. So 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80. See, I did it again. And then, of course, I think next is the UBA DX contest. That's for CW. And that's also for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. Then we have the South Carolina QSO party this weekend, 1500 Zulu, February 24th, and ends at 0159 Zulu, February 25th. And then we have the North American QSO party for RTTY only. And that's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. There's another one that has sideband and CW called the Worldwide Patagonia DX contest, and that's for 24 hours, minus 1 minute. 0 Zulu time, February 25th to 23:59, February 25th. Then there's a High Speed Club CW contest. Sorry, I don't think Kevin is ready for that, but I'm sure you'll be listening to a lot of CW this weekend. 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80 meters for the High Speed Club CW. Then finally, there's the North Carolina QSO Party. And that's for CW, phone, digital, no FT4, no FT8. And that's it. For more information, as well as the rules and where to send your logs, as well as see what the contests are, just go to open up your webpage and go to contestcalendar.com. Do you have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net? Please come now. All righty. Oh, there we have Bill checking in, VE3IUK. Good evening, Bill. Thanks for checking in. And Y2K was hype. This is what Bill's writing on the YouTube stream. And there's tons of money to be made using fear and uncertainty. Yeah, a lot of tech guys were getting contracts to try and fix that. But lots of money over that one. Very good way, Bill. I'll check the rest out there in a minute. All right, so I think we'll start off with the on this day. Geez, it's 9:16 p.m. already. But first, I've got a few pretty cool old sayings with their meaning and their origins. So let's start off with number one, the cat got your tongue. Now, the meaning is said to someone who remains silent when they are expected to speak. Now, the origin says there are two stories on how this saying came into being. The first one says that it could have come from a whip called a cat o' nine tails that was used by the English Navy for flogging someone who has, broken the rules, and often left the victims speechless. The cat o' nine tails. The other one is from ancient Egypt, where liars' tongues were cut out as punishment and fed to the cats. I hope they're talking, well, I don't know, little cats, big cats. Oh, there you have it. The walls have ears. Now, the meaning is be careful what you say, as people may be eavesdropping. Now, the origin is from the Louvre Palace in France, was believed to have a network of listening tubes so that it would be possible to hear everything that was said in different rooms. People say that this is how the Queen Catherine discovered political secrets and plots. There you go. Number three, we've got bury the hatchet. Now, the meaning is to end a quarrel or conflict and become friendly. But the origin says that during negotiations between Puritans and Native Americans, so the Puritans are one of the first colonials, I guess, to land on North America and settle. So the negotiations between Puritans and Native Americans, men would bury all their weapons, making them inaccessible during these negotiations. So there you go, bury the hatchet. Cold feet, meaning loss of nerve or confidence. And the origin says this idiom originates from a military term. Warriors who had frozen feet were not able to rush into battle. Next, we've got big wig. Now, the meaning is an important person, especially in a particular sphere. And the origin says back in the 18th century, the most important political figures would wear the biggest wigs. Hence, today, influential people are called bigwigs. Caught red-handed. The meaning is used to indicate that a person has been discovered in or just after the act of doing something wrong or illegal. Now, the origin says there was an old law stating that if someone butchered an animal that didn't belong to him, he would only be punished if he was caught with blood on his hands. If one was caught with the meat but his hands were clean, he would not be punished. There you go. It's raining cats and dogs. The meaning is to explain that it's raining very hard. But the origin says that this idiom has two stories that try to explain its origin. The first explanation says that the origin of this phrase comes from the Norse mythology, where cats would symbolize heavy rains and dogs were associated with the god of storms, Odin. Now, the second version is the one I'm more familiar with. Here it says the second version says that in the 16th century England, houses had thatched roofs. Now, that's basically straw, which were one of the few places where animals were able to get warm. Sometimes, when it would rain heavily, roofs would get slippery and cats and dogs would fall off, making it look like it's raining cats and dogs. What's the next one here? We've got barking up the wrong tree. The meaning is be pursuing a mistaken or misguided line of thought or course of action. The origin says this phrase refers to hunting dogs who chase their prey up a tree. Once it climbed the tree, the dogs bark at them, yet sometimes the dogs would continue barking even if the prey was no longer there. Turn a blind eye. Of course, the meaning is pretend not to notice. The origin says it is believed that this phrase originates with naval hero Horatio Nelson, who used his blind eye to look through his telescope. This way, he was able to avoid signals from his superior on another ship who wanted him to withdraw from battle. Instead, he attacked, nevertheless, and was victorious. So, looking through a telescope with a blind eye. Very good. All right, we'll go to the last one here. One for the road. I do have more, though. The meaning, of course, says a final drink before leaving a place. But the origin states that during the Middle Ages, the condemned ones were taken through what today is known as Oxford Street to their execution. During this final trip, the cart would stop and they would be allowed to have one final drink before their death. So one for the road has a completely different meaning than what people use it for today. So hopefully you found that interesting. I'll save some more for next week. And with that, before we go to On This Day, do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ.
VE3 OAB.
Oh my goodness, there's Phil. VA3 OAB. Phil, come on in. Haven't heard you in a while.
Yes, I know. I've been having a problem with the connector on the transmitter, so I haven't been on the air that much or for very long.
Oh, are you still having trouble?
I think I got the problem solved. Like the connection originally broke, and I got a BNC connector, and I screwed it on, but it wasn't catching the way it's supposed to, and I'd be in like the middle of a transmission and it'd slip off.
Oh dear. Well, I'll tell you what, Phil, you're sounding great. Beautiful audio, and you're full strength down here to the center mall. And I don't know if you remember, but we do stream the net on YouTube. And if you get a chance, go to my stream, and there's a little clock on the stream. And if you go to 9:23 p.m., you'll be able to hear yourself and see your signal strength there, Phil.
I don't have the internet.
Okay, well, we'll say no to that idea then. But trust me, you're sounding good. Um, anyone else can give Phil a radio report?
Even to my radio, Phil is doing very well.
Oh, there you go. Vanya is on the QEW on the way to Oakville there. So he's picking you up really good there, Phil.
I got you full strength.
He must be on the escarpment near the hospital.
Yeah, anyone giving radio report there should give their call sign first and their location to help Phil figure out where you are.
There's somebody in the background there. Try it again.
Yeah, I'm in the lower city, and I got full audio, beautiful audio, really nice, and full strength.
Roger there.
VA3 PJW, Chris in Burlington, north end of Burlington. I'm able to copy him up here.
Guess I got the problem solved. What I did was put in a new piece of cable.
There you go. Yeah, sometimes over time they develop a fracture or something happens, and doesn't hurt to switch out a cable and see if that helps. Very good, Phil. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'll just stand by and just listen right now.
All right, very good. Well, I don't know if you heard the last caller, VA3 CJW in Burlington, said he could hear you no problem there. So very good. All right, anyone else with comments, questions, or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group, please come now. All right, so let's go ahead and officially start on this day. And we are at number 156. And we'll go with famous birthdays on February 21st. Of course, we are 1 week ahead of the 1 week after Valentine's, I should say. So we'll go back in time and go to the year 1728. And Peter III actually turned out to become Peter the Great. Was born on this day in 1728. He's a German-born Russian Tsar. Became Tsar in 1762, and he was husband of Catherine the Great. You may remember her name as well. And she was born in Kiel, wherever that is. Next, celebrating a birthday today is Santa Ana. Now, you may have heard the term the Santa Ana winds down in California, in southern U.S., and mostly California. Well, it's from a president of Mexico who was born on this day in 1794, who dominated Mexican history in the first half of the 19th century. Very fearsome military man as well, born in Veracruz. Our next person was born in 1856 on this day. His name is Hendrik Petrus Berlage. He's a Dutch architect responsible for the stock exchange in Amsterdam. And of course, he was born in Amsterdam, Netherlands, passing away in 1934. Next, we have Jean Louise Calment, born in 1875. She's supposedly the French world's oldest woman, apparently passing away at the age of 122, and she died in 1997. (1886), Herbert J. Krapp, spelled Krapp. He's an American theater architect and designer responsible for almost half of current Broadway venues. Born in New York City, of course, he passed away in 1973. Next, we have Sam Peckinpah, born in 1925. I kid you not. Sam Peckinpah was an American film director responsible for depicting lots of blood and gore in his Western movies, known for The Wild Bunch and another one called Straw Dogs. And I know he did another one called The Iron Cross, I do believe. He was born in Fresno, California, and he passed away in 1984. Sam Peckinpah, director. All right, next we have Hubert de Givenchy. So Hubert de Givenchy, born in 1927, and he passed away in 2018. Hubert Givenchy is a fashion designer and founder of Givenchy in 1952, born in Beauvais, France. Next, we've got Elizabeth Adams, born in 1930. She's an American Beverly Hills Madame and mentor to Heidi Fleiss. Who remembers Heidi Fleiss? Anyways, this Elizabeth Adams, she was born in Manila, Philippines, and passed away in 1995, right around the time Heidi Fleiss was in prison, I think, for her being a madame in Beverly Hills. Anyone else remember Heidi Fleiss? Next, Rue McClanahan was born on this day in 1934. Rue McClanahan is an American actress. She was on Maude and the Golden Girls. I believe she was the oldest, depicted as the oldest one. She was born in Oklahoma and passed away in 2010. Vito Rizzuto was born on this day in 1946. He is, of course, an Italian-Canadian alleged mafia boss, also known as Montreal's Teflon Don, born in Catolica, Sicily, Italy. He died in 2013. Jerry Harrison, next, born in 1949 on this day. He's an American rock keyboardist and guitarist for Talking Heads. He was also a record producer, born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Another keyboardist we have, born in 1951. His name is Vince Welnick, keyboardist for The Tubes. You might remember Talk to Ya Later. And he was also a keyboardist with Grateful Dead between 1990 and 95. Born in Phoenix, Arizona, passing away in 2003. Kelsey Grammer is 68 years old today. Born in 1955. Of course, he's an American actor, comedian, director, and activist. You might remember him as Fraser Crane in Cheers, and Fraser, born in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. William Baldwin, born in 1963. He, of course, is one of the Baldwin brothers. He's an American actor. He was in Backdraft, Sliver, and Flatliners. Born in New York. J.D. Gibbs was born in 1969 on this day. He's an American auto racer and team owner. Joe Gibbs Racing. You might have heard his name on NASCAR. Born in Los Angeles, California, passing away in 2019. And lastly, we have Jennifer Love Hewitt celebrating 44 years today. She was born in 1979, and she's an American actress, She was known as Sarah Reeves on Party of Five. She's on another series now. I saw her. My wife is watching. I don't know. Something to do with ghosts. She was born in Waco, Texas. And that's it for birthdays on this day in history. Any comments, questions, or check-ins, please come now. This is VA3CJZ. Famous deaths on February 21st. We'll start with James I, passing away in 1437. He was King of Scotland from 1406, for all you Scottish people out there with Scottish blood. He was born in 1406, but was murdered in a coup attempt at the age of 42 in 1437. (1862) on this day, Nathaniel Gordon is hanged in New York City for engaging in the slave trade. The only slave trader in U.S. history to be convicted and executed under the piracy law of 1820. Mary Edwards Walker passed away on this day in 1919. She's an American surgeon and feminist, and the only woman awarded the Medal of Honor during the U.S. Civil War. Dies at the age of 86. Next, George Ellery Hale, Hale, died in 1938. He's an American astronomer and astrophysicist. Is responsible for the discovery of magnetic fields in sunspots. Dies at the age of 69. Next, we have Anne Frank, executed on this day in 1945. She's known as a Dutch diarist. She kept a diary and Jewish victim of the Nazi Holocaust. You might have heard of the Diary of Anne Frank. Dies of typhus in the Belsen concentration camp. Oh, she wasn't executed. And at the age of 15. It's an estimate. The exact date is actually undocumented. Next, we have Malcolm X, who was actually assassinated on this day in 1965. Of course, Malcolm X is an African-American human rights activist and Muslim minister. I didn't know that. He was assassinated in New York City at the age of 39. Next, Howard Florey, Florey, died on this day, 1968. He's an Australian pathologist and pharmacologist who purified penicillin. He won a Nobel Prize in 1945 for that. Dies at the age of 69. Next, we have Hamilton's own Tim Horton, dying on this day in 1974. Canadian ice hockey player and co-founder of the Tim Hortons restaurant chain, dies in a car crash at the age of 44. Next, we've got a Japanese name here. Forgive me. Shikechio Izumi died on this day, 1986. He was a Japanese sugarcane farmer, once thought to be the world's oldest man ever, but is now disputed. So he was born in 1868, died in 1986. So that would make him, what, 123? Someone do the math for me. Okay, next we go to the year 1993, and Harvey Kurtzman passed away. He was an American cartoonist and founding editor of Mad Magazine. I used to buy that every month when I was a younger fella. He dies at the age of 68. Remember Alfred E. Newman? I think that was a portrait of the Harvey Kurtzman. Okay, next let's go to Gertrude B. Elion, Elion, passing away in 1999. She's an American biochemist and drug researcher who developed groundbreaking leukemia and herpes drug treatments. Got the Nobel in 1998, dies at the age of 81. All right, everyone remembers this next guy, Billy Graham. Used to watch him every Sunday morning on TV. No, he's an American Baptist evangelist, described as one of 20th century's most influential Christian leaders, also filled with lots of scandals. Dies at the age of 99. Last on my list of famous people passing away on this day, February 21st, is Peter York, passing away Peter Tork, passing away in 2019. His real last name is Thorkelson. So Thorkelson. He's an American rock and folk musician and actor on the Monkees. Dies from complications of carcinoma at the age of 77. That's it for birthdays on this day. Do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3 November Whiskey.
Another whiskey brother, VE3 November Whiskey. Come on in.
Hello, Chuck. Good evening to you. I just turned on the radio and I can hear you. You're coming in loud and clear. You're doing a good job using the Mickey Mouse antenna on the air conditioning outside. So, you're doing maybe an S9 or so.
Okay, Arpad, I copied that. I just had to step away real quick and get myself another drink there. Talking a lot, you need to keep that lubricated. So, very good. Well, I have you at full scale over here, Arpad. Your audio is just great.
Yeah, roger that. All right, I will be monitoring. Thank you very much, and you're doing a good job.
Okay, Arpad. Well, thank you very much for your check-in. By the way, including the 4 people, I think, that checked in on YouTube, you are number 22. So good job, Arpad. Thank you. Okay, anyone else out there wishing to check in to this weekly AREG Net, please come now. This is VA3CJZ. All right, so let's go back to our list here. Where are we? On this day. That's right. So we just finished famous people passing away on this day. Let's go to historical events on February 21st. And we go as far back in time as I find interesting. And this time we'll start with the year 1245. And a person known as Thomas only, the first known bishop of Finland, is granted resignation after having confessed to torture and forgery. Very nice, Thomas. All right, next we have the trial of Joan of Arc was on this day back in 1431. This was Joan of Arc's first day of interrogation during her trial for heresy. She got off the first time, I think, and then she went back to her old ways, and I think she put on her armor and went back into battle, and, well, they tried her and convicted her that time. All right, next we've got Gregory conquers Julius Caesar. Now, you might think, okay, they had a fight, but no. On this day in 1583, in Groningen, Netherlands, they begin using the Gregorian calendar that started a year earlier in 1582, which is the calendar that we all use today, to this day. So you can thank the calendar going all the way back to 1582. And then on this day in 1799, the freedom of worship is established in France under their constitution. Good for them. And then we jump all the way to 1804. We have the first locomotive. Richard Trevithick's run for the first time along the tramway of the Penydarren Ironworks in Wales. More news for Finland. In 1808, Russia invades Finland, then part of the Swedish kingdom, with 24,000 troops. It appears Putin may want to take Finland again. We'll see. Okay, let's go to the year 1842 now. We have the first known sewing machine patented in the U.S. by John Greenough, or Green, O-U-G-H, of Washington, D.C. Now, that's not the very first sewing machine. The very first was in 1790. The English inventor Thomas Saint invented the first sewing machine design. His machine was meant to be used on leather and canvas material. All right, today in 1853, the United States authorizes minting of the $3 gold pieces. I know there have been experiments with money over the years. I think we used to have a $3 bill and all kinds of denominations. So there you go. 1853, they start minting the $3 gold piece. And then just 4 years later, in 1857, Congress outlaws foreign currency as legal tender in the U.S. That's why Canadian coins don't work in vending machines in the States. They only accept American coins. Oh, but please note, our Canadian vending machines will accept American coins, but they don't take ours. All right, also in 1857, the United States issues Flying Eagle cents. So I guess those are pennies. 1857. All right, then the year later in 1858, Edwin T. Holmes installs the first electric burglar alarm in Boston, Massachusetts. What's wrong with owning a dog or two? Okay, next let's go to 1866. Lucy B. Hobbs, Hobbs, becomes the first U.S. woman to earn a DDS degree. Now that is a degree in dentistry. So the first U.S. woman. All right, the world's first phone book was on this day in 1878. The world's first telephone directory is issued with 50 subscribers, and that's in New Harbor, Connecticut. There you go. All right, next we have the Washington Monument. Back in 1885, the Washington Monument is dedicated in Washington, D.C. Construction began almost 40 years prior in 1848. Now, the Washington Monument is a tall, skinny obelisk in Washington, not far from the White House there. There's a big, long pool. It's called the Washington Mall. All right. 1887 now, on this day, we have the first United States bacteriology laboratory opens in Brooklyn. In other words, they were studying viruses and deadly bacteria, I'm sure, all the way back to 1887. And also in 1887, Oregon becomes the first U.S. state to make Labor Day a holiday. All right, 1908, Dr. Harvey Cushing, first U.S. brain surgeon, performs his first brain operation. Doesn't say if he was successful or not, but nonetheless, yeah. Actually, they've found old uh, ancient skeletons. I forget where now, but they had signs of surgery being done on their heads with holes in their heads. Very, very old. Okay. So Dr. Harvey Cushing doesn't have anything on those guys 2, 3, 4,000 years ago. All right, let's go to 1916 now. World War I. The Battle of Verdun begins with a German offensive, and it leads to an estimated 1 million casualties. That's just one battle, and becomes the longest battle of the entire war and lasted 9 months. 1925, on this day, we have the first issue of the New Yorker magazine being published. And then in 1931, Alka-Seltzer is introduced. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Okay, let's go to still 1931. The Chicago White Sox and New York Giants play the first exhibition night game. 1931. All right, I had to look this next one up. In 1937, we have the initial flight of the first successful flying car. It was called Waldo Waterman's Aerobile. So the word arrow and B-I-L-E. I wonder what became of that. Next, we have the Polaroid land camera model 95. This is back in 1947. The first instant developing camera is demonstrated by Edwin Land at the Optical Society of America in New York City. 1947. A year later, in 1948, NASCAR is incorporated. You do know that NASCAR started because they needed a place for all those rum runners and bootleggers to test out their fast cars that were evading police as they were delivering illegal booze, because during the 30s they had prohibition. So that brings to mind a movie about that called White Lightning in 1973, starring Burt Reynolds. It's all about driving moonshine. Great movie, by the way. I recommend it. White Lightning.
The first Uber.
Yeah, the first booze delivery. Yeah. All right. So thanks, Mac. Next, let's go to the assassination of Malcolm X. We're almost near the end here. In 1965, I mentioned this earlier, civil rights activist and Muslim minister Malcolm X is shot dead by a Nation of Islam followers at Audubon Ballroom in New York City. There you go. I didn't know those details. And then we have 1970, the Jackson 5 make their TV debut on American Bandstand. I probably watched that episode, and it was probably on a Sunday night. All right. Next, we go to 1971, and a series of tornadoes cuts through Mississippi and Louisiana, killing 117 people. Wow. It doesn't say how many tornadoes, but that's Tornado Alley anyways. So a year later, in 1972, Richard Nixon becomes the first U.S. president to visit China, normalizing relations between the countries in a meeting with Chinese leader Mao Zedong in Beijing, or he was also known as Chairman Mao. For all you hockey fans out there, in 1973, the Chicago Blackhawks record 262 NHL games without being shut out. Way to go. 1973. All right, in 1978 on this day, electrical workers accidentally discovered the Aztec Templo Mayor, or High Temple, 2 blocks from Mexico City's central square, the Zocalo. Now, the Aztecs originally settled in what is now Mexico City. And I think Mexico City has one of the highest populations for a capital. I think it's around 20 million. It's something fantastic, anyways. All right, let's go from the biggest city to the smallest. In 1980, Liechtenstein becomes the smallest country to produce an Olympic champion as Hani Wenzel wins the women's giant slalom at Lake Placid Winter Games. Okay. 1981 on this day, a gentleman by the names of Charles Rocket clearly says F blank CK on Saturday Night Live. And so they've had a couple of people say that word, but he did this on this day in 1981.
Fuddle, fuddle.
I remember Sam Kinison. I think they had to use a delay for the very first time on Saturday Night Live because Sam Kinison was unable to not say that word. Every couple of words, he would say it. Anyways, and still in 1981, Japan launches Hinotori satellite to study solar flares. All right. So if if you're like me, you do not run backwards. But in 1983, a man named Donald Davis runs 1 mile backwards, and get this, 6 minutes, 7.1 seconds. Oh, I should have ended with that one. That was a good one. All right. 1989, the United States bust a Chinese drug smuggling ring, capturing a record 820 pounds of heroin worth $1 billion at street value. Wow. All right, next we have the first woman to fly in a tornado. In 1995, Royal Air Force pilot Jo Salter is the first woman to fly in a tornado. All right, so next we go to the Voynich manuscript. Last I heard, nobody has been able to read that book. The writing is nothing like they think it's a code. But in 2014, 10 words from the 15th century Voynich manuscript have been decoded. 10 words. Wow. Didn't know that. All right. On this day in 2016, it was the 58th Daytona 500, and Denny Hamlin wins the closest finish in race history by just 0.01 seconds from Martin Truex Jr. Boy, I bet you he was bummed out. Talking about wanting to put the pedal through the floorboards. All right, 2 more. In 2017, we have a plane crash into a shopping center in Melbourne, Australia, killing 5 people on board. Ouch. I guess he overshot the parking lot. I don't know. And then finally, in 2019, the Japanese spacecraft Hayabusa 2 touches down on asteroid Ryugu on a mission to collect rock samples. Now, I just heard on the news that they recently got a sample from an asteroid. I don't know whose it was from, but it recently returned to Earth after a many-year trip, and they're in the process of analyzing it. And they think that the what do they call the blocks of life might be found on this asteroid. So that's it for On This Day in History. Do we have any questions, comments, or any last-minute check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ. All right, well, let's run down the list and see who else is still alive with us. And Kevin, my neighbor, VA3 November Echo, you still there? Last call. Next, we have VA3 IMW Mac.
Great net, Chuck. 7-3's one and all. Victor Alpha 3, Andy Mike Whiskey.
All right, Mac, thanks as always for your promotion of the net and community service that you do, helping everyone out. All right, so next let's go to Jason, VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. Well, I thought he said he was on vacation. You're supposed to be able to stay up late if you're on vacation. All right, let's go to VE3 Papa Delta Lima, Paul. Downtown Rick, VA3 AXJ.
Yeah, good night, good net there, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. 7-3s for now, and we'll be talking later, probably. Perhaps maybe tomorrow sometime. I don't know. The A3 AXJ. We'll be 10-7. We'll be we'll be shutting her down. Thanks for doing it.
Okay, I believe it's QRT. Very good, Rick. Thanks for checking in and hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed all the trivia and historical facts that I researched for you all. So thanks for listening and sticking around. Let's see if North End Rick is with us. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Rick. All right. VA3 November Charlie Alpha. Wade, are you by the radio? All right. I'd also like to acknowledge VA3 FMB Wayne B from Mississauga for checking in on YouTube, as well as Michael KI5 Sierra Papa Alpha and Bill VE3 IUK. And I haven't looked recently if anyone else has, but thank you very much. Next is Garnett. Let's see if he's still around. VE3 GNP. VE3 MQ. And next, is it VE3 or VA3 CJW? Chris.
VA3 CJZ, Chuck Net Control, VA3 CJW, Chris in the north end of Burlington. Yeah, I'm still here till the end. One of the last hangers on. Thanks very much for doing the net tonight, Chuck. It's a great way, wonderful way to spend a Wednesday with you and the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. 73 to you, and hopefully catch you next week. VA3 CJZ, VA3 CJW, QRG.
Chris, thank you as well for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed this week's net. It's always a lot of fun. And so you take care. Have a great rest of the week. The reason I asked, I thought it was VA3, but when I put it in my log, it didn't automatically bring up your information like it does for everyone else. So I thought something was off, but no, just probably a glitch. So anyways, we've got you in the log properly. Thanks again, Chris. Have a great rest of the week, my friend. Let's see if Albert is still awake. VA3 Bravo Tango.
Yeah, Yeah, we're still hanging in there. I wanted to hang in there, at least get that second round 7-3 in there. I was listening along there, good net there, and on all that trivia. Yeah, I really enjoy that. But anyways, I'm going to call it a night. It's time for bed there. It's kind of over past my bedtime, but no big deal. But anyways, good net there. VA3, CJZ, VA3, Bravo Tango there. Have a good night, 7-3.
Okay, Albert, remember it's hump day, so only 2 more sleeps, or tonight and tomorrow, and then it's Friday. So, all right, happy weekend when you get to it, my friend. Take care. Next, we have Huey, VE3 DJZ. Next, we have Tom in Burlington, but I do believe he has gone to bed, but let's try. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. VE3 LBI.
Yes, sir. I may be late, but I'm still here. VE3LBI.
Okay, very good, Larry. Thank you very much. And just looking at the YouTube stream here, Wade, VA3NCA, said good night, or 7-3. And also Bill, VE3IUK, put a comment in about we used to have a $4 bill. I know I have an old $2 bill from 1954 in an old wallet that I have. And so, yeah, very cool. And then we also had a 25 and 50 cent bill called Shin Plasters. Never heard of that. I'll have to check that out. Okay, Wayne B, VA3FMB. Good night and 7-3. Thank you so much for sticking around, Wayne. I hope you had a good time. Okay, so next we have Phil with the awesome signal and audio. Victor Echo 3, Oscar Alpha Bravo. Phil, you still there?
Roger there, Chuck. I got a question for you.
Yes, sir. Fire away.
It's Canadian history. It happened in 1965 in Ottawa, and next year will be its 60th anniversary. Do you know what it is? And it happened on the day after Valentine's Day.
Huh. It's not the flag. What is it?
You're right. It was the flag. Next year will be its 60th anniversary.
Ah, see? Not too shabby. Very good. Well, thanks, Phil, for letting us know about that. Very interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know Canadian history, and they know everybody else's, but they don't know their own.
Yeah, there are far too many people that know more American history than they do Canadian. That is for sure. I've noticed that myself. So, well, very good. Yes, us old baby boomers, we got our history.
Yes, well, I'll pass on my 73s to you and everybody else. So, Victor, Echo 3, Oscar, Alpha Bravo, QRT.
Okay, very good. Very good. Thanks. Let's see if Vanya is still within earshot. Victor Alpha 3, X-Ray, Lima, Juliet. Guess not. So we'll finish with Arpad. See if he's still there. VE3 November Whiskey.
I am here and learning and listening.
All right. Well, the teaching, the repeating of facts is over. We're just saying 7-3, Arpad. Thank you so much for checking in and listening along with us.
All right, 73 Chalk, and we'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely, if not sooner. Take care. Have a great rest of the week, and good luck getting prepared to go on your trip. And so we'll clear with VE3 November Whiskey and see who else is out there listening that would want to give us a late check-in for the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
V3BK.
VE3BK, we called you, but no answer. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was on there with MQ testing 160. I tried 160 on my listening antenna. But anyway, you're talking about AirPad learning something new. Hey AirPad, you never stop learning. Even at my age, you learn something new every day, just about. So, but anyway, yeah, I missed 73 round. I guess you were past me, and I was just sitting here listening. And we were on the HF radio, and then somebody called me on Skype, a couple of the old hams, and yeah, so I ended up going on there, and those guys just straight on 160. But I tuned up my loop on 160, and it is halfway between 40 and 80, the length. So the tuner is a Pelstar, and it does a really good job, but 160, best I could get out of it was a 3-to-1. So it was only putting out about 30 watts, but of course that's plenty for talking to Kevin and talking to Tom there. So, but anyway, so I missed it, and that thing about the flag, that's good. If he's still there, I wonder, was that when they changed the flag to the maple leaf?
Yes, it was. That's when the maple leaf became the official flag of Canada.
Yeah, and wasn't that Trudeau that did that?
No.
Negative. It was the Prime Minister that got the Nobel Peace Prize, if you know who that is.
I missed that. The Prime Minister that got what?
The Nobel Peace Prize.
The big D.
No, I don't know which one that was. But anyway, when they changed it to the maple leaf, I guess I'm English decent, and I thought, why are they changing that? But you know what? I like the maple leaf. I think that's truly Canadian.
Well, I'll tell you who the Prime Minister was. It was Lester B. Pearson.
Oh, Lester, yeah. Okay, yeah. Lester Pearson, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, anyway, oh well, I remember when they changed the flag, and I thought at first I didn't like the idea, but like I said, it's grown on me, and the maple leaf is truly Canadian, but maple leaf is more Ontario than the rest of Canada. So, but anyway, who cares? It's still good. Lester Pearson. Oh yeah, okay. Who was the guy? Who was the guy that was there when they did the jet that they scrapped? He was a PC. I can't think of who that Prime Minister was. That was back in what, the 50s, I think.
Diefenbaker.
That's right, Diefenbaker. That's the guy. Yeah, my dad voted for him too.
Yeah, he also gave us what was called the Diefendollar.
Yeah, the Diefenbunker. Have you ever talked to the Diefenbunker? VE3CWM. And we have VA3CWM. I'm the licensee of the one at the Warplane Heritage. The radio room at VA3CWM. And then one day we were at V3CWM, and that's a Cold War bunker. So they got that. They called the Diefenbunker, and that was during the Cold War, and they're underground.
Roger there. Chuck, are you finished with the net or not?
Well, not officially. I was waiting for you guys to finish up so I can officially wrap up this week's net.
Yeah, well, Canadian history is very interesting too. They should do something on that some night, Chuck. But anyway, we better turn it back over to Chuck, and yeah, we'll say 73 to anybody that's still listening. B3 BK.
All right, Rick. Thank you so much. You guys can carry on in just a few seconds here. I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us once again for the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net. It's been a blast, as always, and I'm glad you all enjoyed yourselves. Join us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, 7-3, and have a great rest of the week. This is VA3 CJZ, returning the frequency back to regular use. Thank you.
Okay, Chuck, good net. And yeah, anyway, yeah, I didn't catch who was talking about the flag there. Go ahead again.